Hey guys, what is going on? It is Crypto Bobby, and today I want to talk to you about mainstream adoption in cryptocurrency and three different types of adoption that I think we're looking at, because I think it's very much segmented into different spaces. So I want to talk about the three main different types of adoption that we're looking at here, as well as the obstacles that we'll need to overcome to hit some level of critical mass. Now, I'm on CoinMarketCap right now, and as we're talking about mainstream adoption, it's important to keep in mind that right now we're at a $201 billion market cap at this point in time, billion with a B. So, crypto has definitely had an incredible year when it comes to adoption, at least from an investment and from a valuation perspective. But I think there's some other important things that are going to be going on here in the near future that are important to take a look at and important to keep in mind as we continue to put time, resources, energy, and money into this space, because I think a lot of us, at least those of you probably watching this channel right now, are very much interested in how this space can continue to develop and potentially revolutionize the world and technology as we know it. So hopping into it and looking at the main types of adoption as I see it. So when I look at mainstream cryptocurrency adoption, I break it down into three different sections per se. I'll highlight these so you can take a little bit of a peek at it. So, that's ugly. As I'm looking at these three different types of crypto mainstream adoption, I'm looking at crypto from a form of payment and from a transactional perspective, crypto as an investment vehicle or as an investment speculative tool, and then lastly, products and ecosystems that are built and powered by cryptocurrency and the blockchain. So those are, I think, three different things that are big and big in terms of potentially gaining crypto mainstream adoption. But the way in which the way and the obstacles that those three different types of ways that crypto can go mainstream are very much different in a lot of respects. So I just want to break that down briefly and talk about each of these here. And now, if you have ever read Satoshi's white paper from back in the day, when Bitcoin was initially created, it was a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It was online payments sent directly from one person to another without going to a financial institution. Very much a currency or a form of payment, transactional, online transactional money. However, there have been some obstacles that have come up lately as crypto has grown in popularity, namely transaction fees with Bitcoin, as well as ease of use over the traditional methods. I think there are a number of solutions that have been proposed and that are being implemented now, whether it's some of these, Bitcoin cryptocurrency debit cards like a 10x Pay token or a Metal or a Monaco, any of those that are trying to accomplish this, or if it's utilizing a payment gateway like CoinBase's merchant services or BitPay or something like that as well. But this is something that I think is important, as is one of the big ways that cryptocurrency can potentially really go mainstream. But as of the time being, I think this is probably, I don't want to say the least likely way of crypto going mainstream, but potentially the most difficult, just because of the traditional strength of the financial services industry right now and how much they're probably resisting this in a lot of respects, and also in a lot of ways some of the technical scaling difficulties that are going on with Bitcoin, that Bitcoin Cash is trying to solve, that Segwit 2x is trying to solve, that Litecoin might be doing, that Dash might be doing. So there are a number of different cryptocurrencies that are trying to be this direct form of payment, this transactional cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin running into some scaling issues as of the time being from a transactional perspective, which somewhat leads me into my second point here as probably the most obvious mainstream adoption vehicle right now, and that's pure Bitcoin and cryptocurrency purely from an investment standpoint. Right now, the vast majority of people that are putting their money into cryptocurrencies, crypto assets, whatever we want to call them, are doing it on a speculative basis because they have seen past historical returns of cryptocurrency and they're looking to make money, grow that money in the future from their investments in cryptocurrencies. However, it's been mostly small investors at this point in time. It's been the little guy. It's been me, you. It's been, for the most part, just regular retail investors. However, to get to that next level, to take Bitcoin from a 200 or to take cryptocurrency from a $200 billion market cap to, let's say, a 300, 400, 500 billion dollar market cap, maybe even a $1 trillion market cap someday, you're probably going to need the big money in the space to come. And you're probably, as much as Bitcoin was basically created to be anti-Wall Street, anti-financial services, anti-establishment, to get to that, if some of these cryptocurrencies are going to be that next level of investment vehicle, the big money, the Wall Street money, whatever type of money out there, the institutional money is going to have to come into the space. And if that does, the big obstacle right now is a lack of custodial services that are available to these big investors, people that are, able to insure Bitcoin, that are able to maintain Bitcoin, outside of just like a GDAX or a Gemini or some of the other local exchanges. If a massive hedge fund out there wants to buy $500 million worth of Bitcoin, how do they store that? How do they keep that safe? How do they uphold fiduciary responsibility to their investors? So that's something to keep in mind. However, the investment vehicle and a way to gain mainstream adoption is really happening right now, and we're seeing it in the next week or two with Bitcoin, the futures market that's happening with the CME. I know some people have said some negative things about the CME, at least in the comments, and mentioned how they might have some price manipulation with gold, silver, whatever it might be. So that's something to potentially keep in mind. But I think the Bitcoin futures market with the CME is going to open up a lot of opportunity for big money to make both positive bets going long on Bitcoin as well as going potentially short on Bitcoin, which I'm sure will happen as well. And then also, in addition to that, ETFs being something that would be pretty incredible to be able to go into go into your E-Trade account, go into your Scottrade account, wherever it might be, anywhere where you have access to the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ or wherever this might be eventually. But having a Bitcoin, having a legitimate cryptocurrency ETF that is backed by Bitcoin would be something that's pretty incredible. I know it's available OTC right now, but having a real legit ETF would be something that would be massive for investments in the space and would really help to overcome mainstream adoption and really take Bitcoin and cryptocurrency from a purely investment perspective, not from a technical perspective, but from a purely increasing the monetary value of your investment perspective. Both the Bitcoin futures market and the ETFs are a big, big deal. Now, lastly, talking about products and ecosystems that are powered by cryptocurrency, powered by blockchain technology as well, because I think that's an important differentiation there. But so right now, there are a number of different, and you could think about these as some of the recent ICOs, some of the new ERC20 tokens out there that are basically products or ecosystems that are built off the blockchain or that are leveraging the blockchain technology for their corporate benefit, for the benefit of their users, whatever it might be. And right now, I view the obstacle to, I view this as something that could really bring a lot of mainstream adoption to the world of cryptocurrency, quite frankly, because, if any of these products really catch on, if they become very popular, then that could really increase the knowledge, that could increase the familiarity, that could really improve the overall standing of cryptocurrency in the general population. So that's when I talk about getting mainstream crypto adoption there, I'm talking about 1, 2, 3 apps, products, ecosystems becoming really successful that are powered by cryptocurrency, powered by blockchain. And I think that is something to keep in mind. Now, right now, there are a few different obstacles in terms of, number one, the usability of some of these applications right now is not there for mainstream adoption. While a lot of these products and ecosystems that are powered by blockchain that are, let's say they are decentralized. They are decentralized in nature. They sell themselves on being decentralized. They are not as usable, perhaps. Some of them, at least, aren't perhaps as usable as centralized solutions. So, for example, Steem is, I have a Steem profile. I post my videos on Steem. I'll post this video after I post on YouTube. I'll post on Steem. It's interesting. It's like a version of Reddit. If I post something there, I might make 18 cents or 20 cents or sometimes even $5, which is pretty cool. So throw me a follow on Steem. But Steem is in a lot of cases a version of Reddit, but the content isn't always, I would say, as good as Reddit. The time to load, the speed of crypto or of the Steem platform isn't always as, in my opinion, as high quality as something like Reddit is, even though it's decentralized. I think that's something to keep in mind. But it is decentralized in nature. It's powered by the blockchain. It actually has a legit need for the tokens behind it, and it is a pretty interesting platform. Now, a couple other ones that I will mention is Props. I am an advisor for Props. They do have an ICO coming up, but with Props, I think that it's a really interesting tool and a really interesting solution for video content creators to get their content out and to monetize their content. For somebody like myself, to monetize content in a more efficient and effective manner, through crypto happy hours and things like that, where I can talk to you guys a little bit more freely and have some better conversations in the long run. And also from a monetization perspective, I can even bring something up right now. So in the example of Props, so I'll bring up my YouTube profile right now. I'm going to hop into my creator studio. But in the example of Props, being that it's decentralized, if I want to pop over here to, this video, the most recent video that I posted today, it literally nothing is wrong with it. I have no idea what happened, but this is YouTube. It's a centralized platform. You're probably watching this video on YouTube, or maybe you're listening to it on the podcast, but right now, YouTube is not letting me, so I monetize my videos because it helps me to pay for further content creation. I can buy a better camera. Recently, I bought a green screen, but the green screen is now, I'm traveling right now, so no green screen, but I bought a green screen. I'm basically trying to monetize a video so I can make better content for you guys. But if something happens with my video, I posted a video today about the parity flaw that dropped the price of Ethereum, and for whatever reason, YouTube has deemed that it's not going to serve ads because it's not suitable for advertisers. So I have to request and ask YouTube to say, like, hey, can you guys pay me? Because I didn't do anything wrong, so it'd be pretty sweet if you guys can pay me. And that happens literally probably once every 2 or 3 videos for no reason whatsoever. So kind of strange, but something like Props where YouTube isn't watching over me and saying, like, hey, this is what we're going to pay you, this is what we're going to do, and it's, you guys are able to, if you like the content that I'm putting out, you can throw me some Props tokens, and you can participate in the live streams, and you can kind of support the channel in a way that makes sense. And if you guys are putting out good questions, and if you guys are really participating, and I see your name all the time, I'm going to throw you back Props tokens, and that type of thing I think is really interesting from a product perspective, and that will, in a lot of cases, I think, if something like Steem or if something like Props or going to SiaCoin as well, if something like SiaCoin or Filecoin, something that has decentralized storage, basically a product and an ecosystem around storage and decentralized computing, if something like that, SiaCoin or Filecoin, can be successful and become a legitimate competitor to, if Props can become a legitimate competitor to YouTube or Facebook live streaming or Twitch, or if Steem can become a legitimate competitor to Reddit, or if SiaCoin and Filecoin can become legit competitors to Dropbox and to Box, like that type of thing, if that hits a critical mass, I think that will really help to bring mainstream adoption into cryptocurrency because it exposes people. If the product is as good or better, I think in a lot of cases it really should be better. But if the product is as good or better than the centralized versions that don't involve crypto and blockchain, and they improve upon that experience and it makes sense to leverage blockchain cryptocurrency technology, then you are going to have a better experience as a user, and those users will have the advantage of potentially gaining crypto tokens or participating in an ecosystem that is decentralized in some respects. And that will really spread some of the love around and help to educate people on the world, in the world about crypto, and that would increase mainstream crypto adoption. So, summarizing things up, those three different forms of, in a lot of cases, the three different forms of crypto adoption I see are, number one, as a form of payment or just a transactional method. Number two, as an investment vehicle, just putting your money into cryptocurrency to make more money. You're investing in it like you're investing in the stock market, whatever it might be. And then lastly, these products or ecosystems that are built and leverage cryptocurrencies and the blockchain in a decentralized manner that could potentially gain enough users to really hit mainstream, whether it's Steem or Props or SiaCoin, or even a little bit more niche, but something like maybe Binance Coin on an exchange. Those are really interesting, and I think if one of those, especially if like a Steem or a Props or a SiaCoin or a Filecoin, one or multiple of those hit the big time, then that's something that I think would be really effective, be effective long term, because that would help to garner a lot of mainstream adoption. But again, those products and ecosystems really need to be usable, and they need to stress usability, because if it's harder to use them than it is a centralized solution, it's going to really limit, the overall users to just kind of the Bitcoin blockchain crypto nuts like myself and yourself, and not get out to the general public. So that's something that I think, something like a Props is trying to overcome by making their wallet a lot easier to utilize, and I think that's a pretty big thing long term from looking at some of these solutions. Now, outside of that, guys, if you are new to the channel by any chance, I hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit more general in nature today, but I thought it was, with some of the craziness that's been happening in the past couple of days, with the B2X fork that's coming up, as well as with the Parity wallet hack, the wallet security exploit that went on yesterday, I figured I'd come in here and just talk a little bit, maybe more lighthearted in nature, about long-term what we're looking at and what some of these obstacles and opportunities are to really help get crypto to the mainstream and the different ways in which it could go mainstream. In a lot of respects, it's a $200 billion market cap right now, so it already basically is in a lot of ways mainstream, but I think there's still a long way to go and a long runway, and I'm excited to see where that ends up going. Thank you so much for your time, and again, if you are new, Crypto Bobby here. Have a good one. Peace.